Hello, JF family. Welcome back to the podcast on JF. It's been a while, but finally we are back, and we have drumroll mtutus. Suya Mdura. Mtutus.
Oh, the way you said it, ngathi uyalaya. Ngathi uyalaya. Ngeke ngisebenzisa igama lakho lekuhlanya usebenzisa sho.
Welcome to the podcast.
How's
bro.
it, man? How's it?
Oh, good.
Been
Oh,
wanting to be on this podcast, actually.
Finally.
Finally.
You're all over
Yeah.
the place.
What do you mean I'm all over the
You are
place?
busy.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
anyways.
It is.
We're happy to have you, bro. Sesikubonile usihlekisa ku social media, kuma events.
Yeah.
But let's just have an opportunity to know Mtutus.
The guy was not funny.
Mtutus.
The
Yeah.
guy, the boring guy. Why would you want to know the boring guy? Because there's that guy that I'm giving to you guys. I'm saying this guy is funny. Talk to this guy. You know, my alter ego.
Yeah.
There's one guy super boring.
Yeah.
Have you ever met an artist backstage who is so boring? You start doubting.
Yeah.
Deliver. So I don't know why you guys want the boring guy, but hey, I'm gonna give it to you.
No, brilliant. Yes, let's just get into it.
Yeah,
Obviously, you've been around and you've been doing comedy, all that.
Yeah.
But I'd just like to know what's Mtutuzi.
Boring guy.
The journey.
I'm supposed to be a cheese boy, actually. I grew up in Simonye, which is quite the cheesy place. Y'all Mbabane guys know it as the fun fair place, Sack Fun Fair. So I grew up in the place.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the cheesy side of the place, So I grew up there. I was just a boring guy. In my other life, I thought I was going to be a professional footballer. As it turns out, spoiler alert, I'm not a professional footballer. So I come, the typical stuff. I come from family, dad's a pastor. I'm a PK, so shout out to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Yeah, cool. So PK, I come from a very strict, quite the strict family. Your typical African strict, very traditional family.
Ubuya ngalesi lesi.
But mina isikhathi sekubuya ekhaya even up to now. I live alone on my own, but when I'm at home, isikhathi sekubuya, by 6 I should be in the house. Nothing else. No excuses. I should be in the house. Yeah, I come from, my dad is very strict, quite strict.
Usesimunye preschool, primary, high school.
Nah, preschool and primary. Yeah, preschool. In fact, not even preschool. Ngaye nguliseni mina. Nangabe ngulisa, there's a big difference between ngulisa. Preschool, children sit down, children stand up.
Yes.
Ngulisa sibathe siyakhula sibafisha sibotikoloshi. It's just a place to keep kids occupied for the rest of the day. They white from time to time. Nihle nikhumbula ukuthi uyathi singabafundisa ngema-colors. Red, blue, green, yellow and white. The basics. Preschool, you go there. And then I ngabo turquoise, and then ngabo purple. Mauve, yes. Apparently it's a shade of pink or something. So ngaye said me, it was more like daycare. Sala lambana ming sa 17, ungabahluphi bo aunt. So yeah. Then primary school, Ngomane Primary School, which was an okay school. Yeah, it's where I learned this English. Shout out to you, Miss Ndlovu, made me a prefect for one day, demoted me the next day. It's a long story. She was my mom's friend.
Okay.
So she assumed I was a pretty kid. I was quite the pretty kid. So she looked at me, she was like, yeh, umntwana mngani wami shem uyathi ngifunga ngathi angimendele prefect. So like she left, went to the staff room. When she came back, I was on the desk making the whole class sing. She was like, nah, big mistake. Went to my mom and she's like, you didn't tell me. And my mom said, you didn't ask. He is a problem. Yeah, so yeah, went through primary as Munye, Ngomane Primary. Then after that, Babane started calling.
Okay.
So I left, went to St. Mark's.
Shout out to St. Mark's.
Shout out to St. Mark's. Yeah, went to St. Mark's. Okay. Not St. Mark's, because there's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
St. Mark's St. Mark's is dangerous. Woof woof.
Yeah.
Me, I went to St. Mark's, Nice Dominus. Where the principal, not a head teacher.
Yeah.
I was there for 5 years. Best time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in high school,
Afraid of girls. Yeah.
Ugly.
Keep going.
Now to Tuesday, then where does the whole comedy thing come? Or solo now you know some things you discover. It's like,
But
all of a sudden.
Meaning, when I trace my comedy roots or background, I'll take it back to, I think, if family setup where I come from. Go to Sing 7, I'm the middle child. No one cares about the middle child. People, if you're the middle child, no one cares. No one cares about the middle child. If you're the firstborn, that's great. If you're the lastborn, that's awesome. The middle child.
I'm a middle child.
They do not care about you. The system doesn't care about you. Your parents don't care about you. They act like they care. It's like in football, when the ball is at the center, the commentator doesn't shout. It's not dangerous. It's in the middle of either this side or that side. Go to the other side. Then he'll start shouting because it's towards goal. No one cares. You were probably a mistake. So as a middle child, I had to draw attention to myself. The firstborn works hard. The firstborn is the smart one. The firstborn is the deputy parent. She has a clear, demarcated route. She knows what she's supposed to do. Yeah, but the second one, the third one, and then the middle one. How? So I think while I was trying to draw attention to myself by being the most talkative child, the most active child, because I'm like the firstborn son out of 5 girls.
Okay.
So it's 2 boys, 5 girls. So I had to draw attention to myself by being talkative, by being the class clown at home, being the one that has silly things to say. So by the time I got to high school, I was used to being the talker, even in class. So they used to make fun of me because of my head. Apparently, it's got 3 corners. So I had to find a mechanism to make fun of myself before they do. Just to draw attention away from myself. So whatever you're making fun of, I already did. So I get into high school. I'm the last one to get in a hostel second term. Everyone is well settled. Now everyone is looking at this new skinny kid. What do? Let me make fun of myself before they do. So I'm afraid of girls. I'm in a school that's full of pretty girls. What's the worst that can happen? Pretty girls coming up to you, but you don't know what to say. So what do? You make fun of yourself. Be the class clown to draw attention away from yourself. So I think my comedy basically started then, and then I gained confidence because I played for the school team. So there was attention on me now, the soccer player, but I didn't have stuff to say to the girls. So that's where I just started making jokes and all that.
Okay. Now you finished high school.
What makes you think I finished high school?
Okay, assumptions.
Okay, I did.
Assumptions. Okay.
Finished high school.
Yeah. Then, what happens after that? Do you go immediately to the comedy?
Unfortunately, no. I didn't go straight for the comedy, but I think that life gave me situations that were building up my comedy for the future. I didn't know this because as a comedian, what you want is to get into situations that will give you content. So I didn't know that I was actually building up a comedian. Life was actually building up a comedian, just throwing me into situations, I'll make an example. Having a family of 5 sisters, finishing school, I'm the big brother, but I've got like bigger sisters, but I'm their big brother. So as they get into relationships, I'm the go-to guy, the skinny guy who's gonna mess you up if you mess with my sister. But really, I won't. It was just, this was just comedy starting to take shape. Who would say when they pointed their big brother, it's the skinny guy, So I had to take care of situations like that. So after high school, I got a couple of good grades and not so good grades. So I had to go and upgrade.
Okay.
But while I was upgrading, my father felt like, ubungangeni isilutho phela somdzala nyana.
Umzali uyindlovu.
So I started looking for a job. I got a job as a garden boy. I was earning $350 per month. That was in 2010. Yeah, it was. Okay. It still wasn't good money even in 2010. Yeah, so it's just tending the yard, getting my hands really hard, just ruining my romantic future right there. So if there are girls that I've touched with these hands and they felt something weird, it probably was because my hands were quite...
Are you sending an apology?
No, I really don't care. I just want them to know. So I got a job as a garden boy for a year until I got into varsity. Okay. And then got into varsity, became a serious guy, focusing on the books just to make it. So comedy was never on my mind. Until final year when there was a competition called LOL Comedy Competition, which was an initiative, current member of parliament, I think Manzini North, Babe Makford Spanze, shout out to you, Babe Spanze. So the initiative and other guys like Larry Mhlanga, who most people will know in the industry, quite the busy guy. So I entered it through a recommendation from MC, the comedian, who was already doing comedy at the time. So he came to my school, the Varsity Benkona Corner. So I know him through mutual friends. So they told him, like, we think this guy is funny. And we think that you can groom him.
Thoughts.
And then MC was like, now that you mention it, there's a competition. Do you want to come through? And I was like, yeah, why not? Yeah, so I went to the competition. Didn't win. Was like at the far back of the competition. But then I was doing my final year at the varsity, and I was quite popular there because bang MC for freshers, because I think I was just all over the place. So after the competition, I was like, nah, man, I need to prove this guy's wrong. I think I'm funny. So what I did was I booked the guys that were in the top 5 of the competition. Smalls, MC the comedian, I think Ndosh, Dr. Shakes, Soli, and then other guys like MK. He was still in the industry at the time. So I booked them and I was like, guys, I'm doing a show at my school. So we filled up, I think it was a 300-seater. People came through. That was the first show. And then we started a society called Uniswa Comedy Society, which still lives even now. So that's when I was like, let me try this comedy thing. Yeah. So a couple of people started laughing at some of my jokes. And I was like, I'm not too shabby. So then I went on and on and on, started seeing myself on the paper. And I was like, yo, shit, this is nice. This is nice. So I started writing. Because I never used to write. So I started writing. And the jokes I wrote were really bad. And then I stopped writing. And then I would just get on stage, start talking. People would laugh. And I was like, I like this thing. After varsity, I got a job. It was a teaching job for 6 months. But then I was getting gigs in between. I was like, yeah, man, I think I like the mic more than I like standing in front of the class. And I was like, you know what? Let me quit for like a year and see how the comedy thing is going to work out. So in 2016, I quit. The other reason why I quit was because I was teaching in a rural school. I was like, I don't want to live in the rural areas.
I want to go to town.
I want to go to town because my friends work in town.
Yeah.
So I left. I took all my money from the teaching job. I got a house. Didn't buy it, rented it, obviously. Couldn't afford a house. So I took all my last salary, rented a house. And I was like, let me do a show. Then that's where I did the 12 February show, which was quite popular at the time. And from then on, things just started happening. Then that's how I got into comedy.
You know what I like? I'm getting a bit of motivation there. You join a competition.
Yeah.
You don't win.
Fortunately.
But you say you're not going to sit.
I said I'm not going to sit.
To follow your dream.
Here's the thing that most people don't even know. When I left my job, I told my parents that they didn't renew my contract. I lied. Because if I had said I'm leaving...
Well, it's a confession.
Yeah, I did lie. And I'm confessing proudly because I know my father's not on YouTube. Mom's not on YouTube. Well, my siblings probably won't tell. Yeah. So I told him that they didn't renew the contract because I was afraid. You know, the backgrounds that we come from, our parents come from a generation of 8 to 5.
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing. I hate it when people discredit 8 to 5. There are people that have dreams of working a certain job that requires them to sit in the office from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
It's
their dream.
It's their dream. So people like discrediting it. That word, discrediting my 8 to 5, which is quite wrong. My 8 to 5 was not working for me.
For you,
So I decided to say anghambe, and my parents would have been against it. So the whole 12 months, I was telling them that I apply, I stopped applying for jobs and I started doing this. And my father was like, Manje, you're not even the funniest person in the house. What makes you think you'll be the funniest person out there? I was like, I want to prove this man wrong. He means well, right? But I think my motivation was, let me prove my family wrong. Get to a point where I can live a life net job security. Baze babone ukuthi okay, cool. He only said this, I think, December last year. I said, oh, so yeah, it hasn't been hard breaking into the whole thing full time, but it's been quite worth it. Yeah.
No, I like that. So now, here we are today. You've been working. What has been some of your ups and downs in this specific career?
Firstly, it's coming into an industry where people are not acquainted with the concept of going out to laugh and then go back home, and you are trying to make that. How many times have I gone out and said, let me go to a comedy show? Don't count, because maybe that interview on air, because I feel like you don't come to comedy shows enough. But I'm just saying that it's hard to make people understand that this thing is a job. It's hard to make people understand that I need to pay $200 to just sit there and listen to someone blab for an hour or so, to listen to someone's opinion. It's been one of the most difficult things to convince people that, hey, guys, listen, invest in comedy.
But again, laughter is medicine.
Laughter is medicine. It actually is, to the point that there's a couple of artists, or rather comedians, that are trying to engage what do you call medical aid companies to include that as part of the medical aid package, to say you can pay for comedy through your medical aid.
Wow.
Yeah, it could work, because laughter is quite therapeutic even for the comedians. I've gone to shows where things were not going okay, personally, in my own personal, because we go through stuff. That's why artists are highly likely to get depressed. Because when you're working to entertain people, and it's a bit hard to entertain yourself. But for us as comedians, I'll speak for myself. I've gone to shows where I wasn't okay, but as the people laugh, I get back the positive energy from them, and then I give them back the positive energy that they give me. So it becomes like a tennis match. I play for you, you play for me, you play. So by the time the show ends, I'm in good spirits, So I was still talking about the challenges. So some of the challenges has been trying to convince maybe the corporate sector, not all of it, but most of it, to invest in comedy. Comedy is getting numbers now, but for some people, you still get people who are like, Mdura, but usebenta when? And to me, that says we still need to work, because when someone who runs a business, we have accepted that mathematics is a job. We have accepted that is a job. But it's becoming so difficult for us to accept this is an artist. This is his 8 to 5. I'm 17 right now. It was part of my schedule for the day. Today I'm waking up at 8. Okay, scratch that. Maybe 12. I'm waking up at 12. I need to do this podcast. I need to go do that. I need to go do a photo shoot. It's a job. It links each other, and it becomes your 8 to 5. So those are some of the challenges that also for our audience, it's still very difficult to talk about some subjects.
Yeah.
yabo bantu baba a bit sensitive ukuthi ke
Eish, hayi lokho ke.
hayi lokho ngeke naloko ukuthi emaswati emaswati I'll use this word I'm sorry to use it but I'll use it. They are very condescending. Uyakhuluma ube ne opinion about relationships. What in lomfana kathole ngema relationships amncane kangaka uyabona, but you are speaking about your experience of relationships.
Yeah.
You'll talk about your perspective of irreligion as an institution, because this is something that you are constantly being bombarded with. With the media. Ukhulume ngeopinion yakho bathi mfana wathi ngikholwa mncane kangaka uyabona. We still have that attitude. We cannot make a star out of a 16-year-old. When you go to the USA, they discover Justin Bieber at 16. At 17, he's buying a mansion. And they are allowing for that to happen. With a 16-year-old. Now you've got this kid, Greta, who's talking with the Thunberg, the Lombana Lokuluma about climate change.
Yeah.
She's been in front of the US Senate. She's been on the TED Talks. She's what, 12, 13?
Yeah.
But you come to the country, umntwana ayekele kuyowenda my homework uyabo. So we have that condescending attitude yokuthi if I am a comedian on stage, I start talking about relationships, people are like, what? So it's some of the challenges, but we are working our way around that. It can't happen overnight. It's a 5-6 year old industry. So it's gonna take time.
But it is growing, and I think looking at the number of comedians we have, the reception is really coming up quite okay.
It is.
All right, no, it's fine. I'm just thinking there might be someone probably watching the podcast.
Wait, why are you saying this might be someone probably?
No, I'm still finishing.
How many of you?
Let me finish the sentence. There might be someone.
You said very she doesn't meet the child. That was coming out. There might be someone who is 5 like Kaya Angat, but I think I have 6 kids. I don't know. I might have a middle child.
Someone might be watching who is in a space trying to decide, where their talent is. Maybe the situation they're in is not actually allowing for them to do that. What would you advise that person to probably do as far as getting to know what their talent is
and pursuing what they really?
Yeah.
First, I usually say education kokuqala imqoka. It's the first, because education is not like a thing that fills up a hole of ignorance. Kokuthi nangabe nga grade 1, then ngifaka umhlabathi in that hole of ignorance, and then masenga grade 7 sekugcwele. By the time I have a degree lomgqodzo soyagcwala, and then it gets to a certain point where lomgqodzo ignorance sogcwele. It's not like that. Education is there to open up your mind, to think differently from someone longaka esikolweni. So I think it is a very essential thing to have pursue art. That's the first thing for me. And then the second thing, for me, I would say now umuntu passion has got a tendency to burn. Ube ne burning desire to pursue that thing. Kungabi into because I know guys that have gone from being a DJ to being a poet to being a photographer to being usathi discover kusengakabi nale burning passion. But if burning passion is the thing that will make you want to, angisho ukuthi that is specifically what must happen, but I'm making an example. It's that thing that will make you make sacrifices that otherwise you wouldn't make for anything else. I'll make an example. I don't think I would have made a sacrifice to quit my job and lose income for anything else other than comedy. So when I make sure that thing that you think you love is something you are passionate enough about to make sacrifices. Sacrifices like I've had to defy my own parents. I'm not advising that. I've had to defy them, but for the bigger picture of proving them wrong and saying that this is my passion. So I think a passion has got a tendency of repaying the faith you have in it. I think you might have noticed in a tendency. there's that following your passion blindly. But sibantu Mdura manje wena uyekela umsebenzi uyoqasha indlu embabane but ude income utawenda njani ngithi angati ngidobona. You put in the work. I promise you, it pays you back. One way or the other, you found yourself doing gigs that you didn't know how you got to.
Yeah.
I found myself on stages where I was like, how did I get here? You know, I found myself doing shows where some people have auditioned and I have not auditioned. But my passion has found a back door for me.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that it for a passion, be sure. Make sure it's not something you love. Because you can love a girl, but if you're not passionate about what you have between the two of you guys, you won't make any sacrifices. Make sure it's something you are passionate about. You are not being dragged. It makes you sleep at 4 a.m. without being asked to sleep at 4. It makes you wake up at 5 after sleeping for 30 minutes without anyone calling you and saying, but you know, you're supposed to write lyrics for the new song. So, Nina, I would just say, make sure it's really passion. It's not something, because there are people that love the idea of being a comedian. I love the idea of being a comedian, people laughing at my jokes, and then I take by comedian. And then when the difficult part of the climb, as you call it, comes, like, but fam, me, I have my 8 to 5. So why should I be doing this? I've worked with comedians, those now so sebenda nae. And then the difficult part comes when now the guy that was supposed to bring the stage, now you need to go and pick up the stage when physically. Guys, I 8 stage. You know, I've gone to shows where I'm going out of the country. I've got a one-way ticket to get there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna come back. One way or the other, you find your way back home. I once left. I don't like stories like this because it's cliche. But there was a time in 2016 when I left. I had $50 in my pocket, and I went to Joburg. When I came back, I had like almost 10 grand from doing a couple of shows here, there, and that came as in, say, can I bank on your couch? And then I'll go to Rhythm Lounge and do something. 1,000. Oh, and then I'll go. So the passion will pay back most of the money. Sometimes, if it doesn't, don't take my advice. I'm just speaking from my own experiences. I'm not qualified.
Wow, no, that's really powerful and really inspirational. Now, you recently posted a video. Auntie. Tell me, I've been meaning to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Will you maintain that character?
I don't know. I really don't know because
the reception was quite good.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was really great. Most of the good jokes, or rather not even good jokes, most of your best content as a content creator comes from random things that you don't sit down. I don't like scripting. So I was at home, so there's this hat. It's my mom's hat. So I wanted to go and ice block from one of the homesteads that we've done. So I was looking for one of my hats. My brother had taken it to work. So I decided so I'm looking at myself in the mirror and and then I go it was inspired by a character of an ant that lives. So my dad I retire and I wasn't and then I picked up my mom's wardrobe for clothes. And I got that skirt. I got the top. And I was like, you know what? Gave the phone to my nephew. I was like, just hold it still. We're about to do something. And then it was just one take and then I put it there. But now I'm thinking there could be a follow-up, you know. There's so many things that Andy can do.
Yeah.
Because that is how characters are born. The Webcast rapper was born out of just one random clip we are born. And then people were like, give us more. Like, I gave them more. Like, Exe, where's another one? Like, okay, cool. Here's another one. Oh, Exe, I haven't seen the Webcast rapper in a while. Exe, it's been 2 days now.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, but I'll see. I'll definitely see.
Maybe let's have a poll and
Yeah, maybe.
comment
Yeah,
if
maybe.
you want Mdura to continue with that character.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Otherwise,
That's a good idea.
thank you so much for coming through. I think I'll try. We'll try SJF to attend more comedy shows.
And yeah, please do. Just even cover and just put.
Yeah,
Because you know what I'm
yeah,
thinking?
yeah.
I'm thinking, how would it be like if just in the middle of your segment, you have like a 10-second clip of comedy
I like
and then you continue.
that. Noted.
Anyways.
I like that.
Anyways.
I
Guys,
like
sitifaka kanjena ke team 17. This is how we get hired. Put yourself out there. Make yourself indispensable. So ngithole sponge nyanga.
I like that. No, thank you so much for coming through. Amazing time we've had. I'm sure we'll work on more bigger and greater things.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks. I enjoyed this. And I feel like Maswati should do more of this content creation, my podcast, videos, and whatnot. That's where the money is. That's where the exposure is. Right now. So we are a generation of content creators. Influencers, so you never know. Lenye langu yangena on a video and it just changes your life like that. So big ups to you guys for putting this thing together. Love the studio even. Had a great time.
Thank you.
Amazing time. So let's see how we bend this last hour that we have on this podcast.
No. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Motivation Wednesday. That's the episode we are doing today.
Didn't even know this.
He knows that. So thank you. Continue to subscribe. Continue to like our pages, Job Flavored Podcast on all social media. And let's just spread the word and let's make this bigger and greater. As we always say, JF, add more flavor.
Subscribe.
Try that. Subscribe.
Subscribe. If you watch and you like it, subscribe. You watch, you don't like it, subscribe. You hear about this from a friend, subscribe.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's hear it say the tagline. It's JF, add more flavor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm under pressure, but here we go. Wait, what was it? Sorry, what?
JF, add more flavor.
Okay, cool. Here we go. I'm ready. JF, add more flavor. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.